Hi, my name is Brooke Markoviches. I'm the founder and CEO here at Allobee, and I just wanted to welcome you back to our series on how to prepare to outsource effectively and when to know when you should be pulling that trigger and make your first or your next hire. So today we're going to talk about, in this video, specifically how you can choose your first low risk outsource. And I say low risk because there's a lot of ways that you can make a relatively risky first outsource. And I'm going to show you some ways that we here at Allobee try to make it more low risk and ways that you can kind of de-risk that first hire outside of Allobee as well. So I'm going to show you a little bit about how we have set it up here at Allobee so you're aware and it's less of an overwhelm or feeling like you're stuck. So I'm going to share my screen and show you exactly how we do stuff here at Allobee. So if you go just regularly to our website here at Allobee, you are able to see over here on services, all the different services that we offer. So let's say we go over to administrative services. You can take a quiz that's going to allow you to figure out what you should be outsourcing first. That's a really great way to either confirm what you already know or get a good direction of what you should probably be outsourcing. You also can book a call with us, but let's look over here at the virtual assistant. So this is a very common first hire, and I've talked about this in the other videos. It's about $510 to get 20 hours of a virtual assistant, which can give you a huge ROI for your business. So if you go over here, you can learn a little bit more about what a virtual assistant can do, as well as the pricing for this. We have set it in hourly pricing blocks of time because we found that was the most effective and flexible for business owners. So let's say that you aren't sure what your business is going to look like in 3 to 6 months. Well, it's really hard to sign up for a retainer with somebody for a 3-month or 6-month contract if you're not sure what that's going to look like for your business. And so this way you can have a really low risk outsource by just bringing somebody on for 20 hours. You have 6 weeks to use those hours. So even if it takes you a little longer than a month, you have 2 extra weeks to be able to get all of that in. We also here at Allobee give you one time you get to have like an extra extension to get those hours done, as well as we always give a holiday extension. So we want to make sure that you are able to use those hours. We also check in and make sure that you're moving through those hours effectively and you don't get to the last 3 days and you haven't used those hours. So that is one of the ways that you can purchase a low risk outsource here at Allobee, and you end up just purchasing it, and we go ahead and then make the match for you. And we have a 96% hit rate with our matches, so we're really good at matching. And it makes it just really easy for you to get started with a freelancer. Now, what if you get started with that freelancer and it's not a great fit? Sometimes that happens, even though we're really good at matching and have that 96% hit rate. Sometimes it's personality, or there was just an element that we weren't able to take into consideration with our algorithm and our oversight of our team. And so you can have a rematch at any time that you're working with us at Allobee. If you're not happy at any time, we can rematch you with another freelancer, and even no questions asked, we will ask you to, if you can, give us some feedback so we can make a better match. But usually no questions asked, and you can go ahead and get a new freelancer. Or during your first week, you can get a refund. So if you're not happy within the first week, you can get a refund. That is a really low risk way to outsource. Also, we don't pay our freelancers out until the work has been completed. So until those hours have all been used for a virtual assistant, or that whole website has been built, we don't pay the freelancer out. So we make sure that you get that deliverable and you're not left hanging, because that can be one of the worst things that can happen. We also, which I'm going to share another screen and show you inside of our platform, we really help to make sure that you are up to date with what's going on with the hours that are being used for your project. So for instance, let's say you are working with a virtual assistant for 20 hours and you want to make sure that you're up to date with how they're spending that time. And so all of our freelancers at Allobee have to track their hours, and we get weekly reports that are going to be sent to you. So those weekly reports are going to have the time tracking that the freelancer is putting in on your project. So let's say that your project is a graphic design project. They've put in this scope of work. You're able to view the deliverables. They set milestones for that. You can set a milestone and they can as well. You're going to be able to see when it was purchased, when it started, when it ends, who the expert is, what the status of the project is, and you're going to be really set up. So if that freelancer does not deliver what was established as the scope of work between you and that freelancer from the beginning, you can let us know that. We will probably also be addressing that, and we'll make sure that you're taken care of. And so what's really nice about having kind of a third party is part of everything that you're doing with your outsourcing is that you are taken care of as well as the freelancer is taken care of. Because a lot of times there can be just, it's your first time managing somebody and it can be stressful, or you're really busy and just don't have the time to manage. So we really help to support that freelancer and support you and make sure that it's a lot easier for both of you. So we help set those prices. Like I mentioned, we've already set the price. You don't have to worry about haggling to figure out a good price or not feel like you got a good deal. We also make the match. So we take away that decision fatigue of you going through hours of interviewing people. We make the match, but you can get your money back within the first week or get a rematch if you're not happy. And you also are not going to waste all of that time interviewing. We also have some pre-scoped work, or what we lay out as like options of what you could scope as your work, as well as the freelancer is going to help you on that first call to make sure that you set yourself up for success of what should be in a scope of work for that first month. And you guys will agree upon it and make sure those get done. On your weekly reports, you're going to be able to see every hour, minute that's tracked from the freelancer, and they can't just put the same thing each time. And if they log more than 3 hours at a time, it's flagged in our system and we have to reach out to them and make sure that they were really supposed to do that, and that they didn't leave it, the time tracker running. You will get that weekly report every Friday. The week in Allobee's time ends on a Thursday. And so on Fridays, you get your weekly report. You get sent an email with that attachment, or you can log into the platform and see it. And so we make sure that you are able to have a low risk first outsource or your next outsource, and you're able to keep up with it. So it's not as stressful as you're making those outsources. And then what's really nice is as you're wanting to add more freelancers and outsource more, you can run it all through our Allobee platform with our freelancers. So everything is in one hub, and it's a really easy and efficient way for you to outsource. So that is all. Those are all of my tips on how to choose a low risk outsource and how to make it more low risk. Whether you work with Allobee or not, you can take those principles of scoping out the work, making sure the price is set really well, maybe leaning in towards hourly work instead of a retainer, and then also making sure that you go through a fast and efficient way of interviewing or getting matched with a freelancer. So stay tuned for the next video, which I'm going to talk about how to onboard that freelancer. So we've talked about how to pull the trigger now, how to get that first low risk outsource, but what is going to be the next step in getting them onboarded? So we'll talk about that in the next video. But if you're interested in going ahead and pulling that trigger and making your first outsource, just go to allobee.com and either book a call with us, or you can go ahead and message in on the chat and we will answer any questions that you have. Thank you, and stay tuned for the next video.